Right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly collective reading. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. And if you are new to the collectives, this is a chance for us all to sit down, take a look at the next 7 days. Also, look at a special topic that all of you selected for me. This week, we're focusing on new stuff. I was surprised. I wasn't sure where it was going to go, but at the very end, it was basically the sparking new opportunities, seeing what new doors are opening, and I think it's a great way to look at the week ahead. So excellent choice, as always. We're going to begin with the channeled messages first and foremost. This is going to give us a chance to basically focus on possibilities and also what came through in my dreams and meditation. So give me a second to get everything set up here, and we will begin. Apollo is resting and holding court right behind us, making sure that everything's okay. This may be the last week that I'm in this location, so we'll see where I'm at a week from now. Thanks for your patience as I'm looking for a permanent place to be. Okay, let's get started. There were a bunch of dreams that came through last night, very specific ones too. The first one actually had almost like a dietary component to it. So I was shown a iron skillet or frying pan in my dreams, and the guides were very sort of like insistent that I knew that it was iron. And a fun fact with cooking with an iron skillet, it actually can help you increase your iron intake. So the fact that I saw that at all means that it's a time to just kind of look at, especially if you have any history of anemia, making sure that you're getting enough iron in your diet. Obviously, you always want to work with a healthcare professional whenever you make changes to your diet or exercise routine. This was super specific, so take a look at that. Also, maybe just looking at how much fried foods you're eating. You know, there are different ways to prepare things. You can steam vegetables, you can boil eggs, you can do a lot of different things that don't require frying. But if you are going to use it, maybe use an iron one to increase your iron intake. So that was a very interesting piece. Now, the other thing is if we look at the jumping from the fire, what is it? I had to put it in here. Frying pan into the fire. Basically making sure that you research something before making a hasty decision. Because sometimes you can end up in a situation that is just as challenging, if not more so. This is especially true if you're like quitting a job or, you know, getting into a new relationship. Just make sure you've vetted the options before moving into something new, okay? All right, next piece. Super specific visual and really good takeaways with this as well. So I was watching as someone was in a library, but the books that were there left a lot to be desired. It felt like some of them were too junior. It's almost like, if you've ever gone back and looked at your elementary school library, there are some fun children's books there, and that's great. But if you're looking for meaty subjects, research, data, information, you're not going to find it there because that's more of like an introduction just to reading and literature. You're not going to find what you need. And I found myself in a situation where it felt like a lot of the stuff there was it was a couple levels lower than what I needed to understand whatever topic it was that was in front of me. And then I was watching as everyone was like, they were like, what books are you going to get? What are your choices? So the crowd around me, we could read as two things. First of all, an audience. And the second thing could be scrutiny. So if you're going to present data, information, a thought, whatever, make sure you've researched it so that when it's scrutinized, you can say, oh yeah, I went here, here, here. And make sure that your choices are varied on all sides, you know, both supporting and opposing your opinion. That way you can make a better argument. One of the best classes I took in high school was speech and rhetoric, and we learned how to do speeches that were persuasive, and you would start by conceding to the opposition what they're. You could say, I can understand why you might believe this. I even did once upon a time. However, once I learned this, this, and this, I started to evolve my point of view. Maybe you will too. And then you start to go into it. It's so much stronger than just saying your idea is terrible and here's why. You always want to say, I think I understand where you're coming from. Maybe you can understand me too. Maybe we can find a place in the middle. We don't see a lot of that anymore, unfortunately. There's just a lot of finger pointing and low blows. But it's much better, it's much stronger, much more effective to not go there and say, you know what, I understand your perspective, okay? But that means doing your homework. So it could just be as simple as an emotional homework like that and putting yourself in someone else's shoes. But it could also mean like the data is not good enough. So vet your sources. Make sure that the person that's saying this has some credentials, right? Again, we're not seeing as much of this anymore. When I studied journalism in the late 90s, ethics was part of the curriculum. I had to take an ethics class, and part of that was remaining as impartial as you can be whenever you're presenting something. But another thing was just making sure that like you didn't want to put yourself out there with facts that were wrong. Nowadays, I don't see that. It's unfortunate that it's not there in journalism as much anymore. Some people are doing it, but most are not. So we want to make sure that we're setting an example and bringing that back, hopefully. Don't underestimate your audience. People are smarter than you think. It's the number one mistake anyone can do. Assume that people are intelligent. And because if you don't, not only is it not fun on the receiving end, like if you are the audience, but it probably is going to backfire. Go beyond the immediate resources in front of you. Dig a little deeper like Apollo is behind me. Eight of Pentacles is citing all of those sources. I chose the Eight of Swords in the previous one because something could be missing. These two go together, and that's why we want to look deeper, dig deeper. Okay, so next piece. It's the first day for someone for something new. So I was specifically, it looked to me like a delicatessen. It was somebody that was making sandwiches and things. There's that protective glass or plastic shield. And I saw them being trained, and I saw impatient people, and I saw a patient person as well. They were so grateful for the one patient customer, but the other people that were impatient, shame on them, because we've all had a first day, first experience. Sometimes you're lucky, beginner's luck, and you hit it out of the park. Usually you don't. And if you just happen to see someone in training, don't do all of that stuff. You were there once, and you may be there once in the future. So give other people leeway to have a first experience without that feeling of being annoyed and dealing with a bunch of people in line. And if it's your first day and there's people that are just acting a fool, literally, don't take it seriously. That person's got other things going on. They lack empathy. They don't remember what it was like. But believe you me, they had a first experience. How do you think they learned language? We were just talking about that. Like, you have to start somewhere. Your ABCs, your 1, 2, 3s, you have to go. Don't forget how kind of like rich and smart and kind of like balanced you are right now, but it took a lot of time to get there. So if you start something new, the first day may suck, but that's okay. Keep coming back. And if you see someone experiencing something new, support them. Say, hey, it's going to get better. You did a great job. Don't worry about it. I'm not in a hurry. Whatever. Kindness. We don't see as much kindness and empathy. And I think that was a big takeaway there. Is just be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. It's a nice thing, right? It's what you would want to experience on the flip side. All right. We try to have kindness as a part of this channel as well. So anyway, good to see everybody. Let's see which deck is coming through. I think I know which one for the 7 days. All right, so we're going to take a one-by-one look at the next 7 days. We'll get into the special topic in a little bit. We have one other thing after this, so stick around. Good to see everybody. Before we do the 7-day forecast, if you like what you're seeing here, please subscribe and feel free to take part in the live discussion if you're joining me live. It's always good to see where everybody is watching from, how you're doing, all of that. That's why we show up. Okay. Just close your eyes, let go of any preconceived notions, and let's just see what Spirit wants to bring through here. All right. Okay, let me just get everything set up here. We're going to begin with the energy of today, this Sunday, and there's a nice synchronicity with what I had in the channeled messages. So 8 of Swords energy coming through, it's in the reverse state, and that usually can be read as liberation. I like to refer to this as the prison of thought, because it is a jail. You can kind of see it here. But sometimes we limit our thoughts and we think, this is never going to happen. I'm not this or that enough. Sometimes we just refuse to look at things. That's usually a little bit more in the Two of Swords, but it's also here because typically both of these cards have a blindfolded person. So it can be not looking, seeing, or computing what's in front of you. And there's always a way out in the Eight of Swords. In the traditional one, there's a little opening for the person, and they're just swords. It's not a true prison. There's no sky or limit here, so it is just about kind of opening your mind to new possibilities. So if this isn't working, how about this? Sometimes we just keep hitting our head against that wall, and it's like, well, maybe I should go here, 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 some other direction. That's really what I'm getting from this here. You can't ignore something. It's time to take action. It's time to explore the alternatives, and things are better than they seem, both in the 8 and the 9 of Swords. You just might be missing something. It could also be what we were talking about. There might be something missing in your life, and you don't realize it until you find it. And I was talking about like even nutrition. It's a really weird reason to feature this card, but it came through. So maybe there's something that you don't know that you need until you find it or until someone mentions it, but give yourself a chance to wrap your head around that. So just explore new things, open your mind, get out there, shake it up a little bit. That's what this Sunday is about. Okay, moving on to tomorrow. We have the King of Wands coming through for Monday. It's a good energy. We want boss cards to come through. So this is a great day to deal with business. It aligns with what I was picking up on even for a little bit of today, because we had like the Ace of Pentacles for the daily read at the beginning. So I feel like you could take an idea or an intention that you've already planted or set into motion and now really get behind it and allow it to take root and take flight even. So this is a day to speak your mind, lead others. You might want to even work on your own. A King of Wands doesn't need a big crowd. They can just focus on making something happen. I just see you moving the needle forward in anything that you really want to focus on, okay? It's a learned card. So if you want to do the research or if you want to present something, your knowledge and wisdom come through in a really great way. Okay, that's Monday. Good start to the week. I like what I see on Tuesday. We have the Star and we have the Eight of Cups. You might get a second chance to shine. I mean, we could literally put it that way. So this is the presenting energy. It's Eight of Cups in reverse. It almost feels like this is the last shot at doing something. So sometimes you get like a last and final chance. You might not have been ready the first time. You might not have been tuned in or whatever. Now it's coming back around and you think, okay, if not now, then when? That's very much what I get with the Eight of Cups. It's also a chance to stop things if you're sick of them, or to get more clarity on something that is hot and cold or intermittent. It's kind of like the settings on the wipers. It comes in occasionally, but not always when you need it or want it. So sometimes in relationships, people are hot and cold. Maybe in an employment situation where you're freelancing, there's a lot of work, then there's a little, and you can't really judge it. So you're looking for consistency, and I feel like you can get the consistency this week. Why? Because you're shining as the star here. And it's a chance to really set your sights high, higher than you have before, because low expectations yield low results. High expectations can bring you a lot closer, if not exactly, to that higher point. So don't underestimate yourself or others. There's that channeled message coming through, okay? Step into the spotlight. You may not want to, but it feels like it's a really good day to do so. You can't go wrong in the energy of the star or the sun, really, as long as you're being yourself. So I feel like you're set up for success. Tuesday is one of the highlights of the week, and there were 2 cards on Tuesday as well. All right, let's take a look at the midweek. Love the Ace of Pentacles. Love this Ace of Pentacles. It's also connected to the King of Wands energy. Queen of Wands actually holds the sunflower, but we got a lot of fiery kind of vibes with this. It's only connected because of the sunflower here. But I just recently talked about this a little bit with, I think, Libra, because I was seeing the sunflower. So just to bring up, you know, a unique trait of it, it follows, like if you've ever planted one of those, is it called a mammoth sunflower? The really, really big ones. What's cool about them is until they kind of reach their final phase where they just kind of droop, when they're vibrant and alive, they follow the direction of the sun, heliotropic. So people are ready to follow your lead. You have the leadership energy coming through on Monday, but now they're ready to, it's almost like engage. Swipe the credit card, pass over the coin, sign on the dotted line. There's interest. That's really what the Ace of Pentacles represents, as an exchange. So you're setting into motion and you're standing behind it on Monday, and then people are showing up with the coins midweek. So I think that there could be a good offer, a good contract being signed, a good opportunity that presents itself, and anything that you just want to see growth in. Wednesday's sweet. It looks great. But you should be stepping in as the leader, not trying to follow trends. So set the trend, don't follow the trend. Lead, don't follow. That's the main takeaway there. Okay. As we look at Thursday, don't second guess yourself. Easier said than done, but very clear on this card. Judgment is typically a card of rebirth, but it's also a decision. We can take it at the face value, which is I decide or declare to do this. Archangel Gabriel in the traditional spread is representing a call to action, a declaration, something being very, very clear. And it's one of the clear things with judgment is we're not repeating past mistakes. So it's good to say, I want to do this instead. I'm ready for this kind of change. Let me take a quick drink and then we'll move on. In the corner on this card, we can see the rebirthing energy. We actually see someone connecting with Source. There's someone praying here. Then we see a little kid here. And then there's someone trying to make sense of all of it here. But I kind of prefer the traditional illustration where we just see souls rising from the dead. And so if you've had some setbacks, if you felt stuck, if you've just been waiting for a moment to make something happen, I really feel like that moment is Thursday. So you might have to announce or declare or decide on something. And once you do that, the floodgates open. That's the power of judgment because there's no holding it back. Like it's kind of ironclad. So here's your traditional illustration. And again, people are ready to receive it. They're here with open arms. So if you are truly clear on what it is that you need or they need to do, that's going to make you an even better leader, that sense of certainty, okay? Cutting through the nonsense is what this card is about as we look at Friday. Keep it real, keep it simple. We see this person, this sword is taking their sword and cutting through the clouds, revealing the sun. And get to the point quickly. Don't beat around the bush. This clear declaration is everything. And then act quickly. And act concisely and confidently. There's enough clouds in the sky right now, so you have to be the one that is clear in everything. And less is definitely more. And in that sort of spirit, we're just going to move on to the next day. By the way, though, things are going to move fast, so you have to move quickly too. So that's the only other thing here is to keep up the pace. All right, let's take a look at next weekend, starting with next Saturday. Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles is reversed, but let's look at it upright for a second. This is a fun Ten of Pentacles, celebrating some sort of success. I mean, to me, it vibes a lot more like what I would expect in like the Ten of Cups, or actually Nine of Cups, because it's like a party vibe. But when you are able to accomplish something really like that you put a lot of time and energy into, a lot of your resources, I like the disco vibes that are going on in this. It's like, yes, it's finally done. I'm finally finished with this. So take a moment for those of you that have accomplished something great, whether literally on Saturday or just recently. Maybe Saturday is the celebration, okay? This is peer pressure sometimes because Ten of Pentacles can be your family, your coworkers, people that have a vested interest in you or just really want to control what you're doing. You are your own person. And you can make your own decisions. And if your friends and family and coworkers love and support you, and you are doing what is best for you, they'll find their way eventually. Even if they don't agree with it initially, they can support that you're on your path, okay? So sometimes we just have to push back a little bit when people are overzealous and sometimes underestimate our own decision-making process, okay? There might just be a lot of people tapping at your time and energy, so have proper boundaries as well. All right, looking at next Sunday, a week from today, you're in a good space. We have the Empress card, and she's in the upright position. So a great day for birthing, a great day for leadership, a good time to spend with your children or with your family. And really, you're sitting in a place where you just feel like it's coming together. So I like the trajectory here. It's been a mostly manageable week as I look at all of the cards, and it feels like 7 days from now, you're feeling at home, whatever that means for you. Even if you're traveling like I am, even if you're, if there's a lot of different things that are going on in your life, there may just be this sense of, oh, I've got it together. I'm organized. I feel like I've got my power. Okay. Let's look at highlights and then lowlights, and then we'll move on to the elemental forecast. So let's start with the challenges first, then we'll end on a good note. Today could be challenging. The Eight of Swords is like, again, not necessarily wanting to see something and feeling like you're stuck, but then realizing maybe it's just my thoughts. Maybe if I'm open to trying something different, I can get through it. I think that Thursday is a challenge because you know what to do, but there could be a little bit of a delay on taking action. And I think next Saturday could be a challenge because of resources that are pulling at you, people that are pushing their own sort of suggestions your way, etc. The highlights, you've got a lot of highlights, but I think Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday are the best. Monday, you're just really getting things organized. Wednesday, people are interested. There could be money or opportunity coming in. And then next Sunday, it's all coming together. You just feel like really happy with the progress of the week, okay? Let's move on now. We're going to go into an elemental breakdown, and this is basically a chance for us to, it's the only part of this reading that is sign specific. Everything else is for everybody here. All right, so let me pick a deck for the elements. Again, if you just joined, please like and subscribe. I'm going to turn the camera down for a second, and we're going to use this deck for that. And then, yeah, I think we might do light seers for the main. Okay. Close your eyes. We're going to tune into fire, earth, air, and water and see what's in store. Fire, earth, air, water. All right, some big stuff coming through here. Let's begin with fire signs. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. It's good. It's great even. Here we go again. Sunflowers, sunflowers, sunflowers are just coming in left and right over the past couple weeks. Okay, so Six of Wands energy. This is success, and I love that. Is this person riding a unicorn? It looks like it's a unicorn. They're reaching for the stars. They're like in this magical horse or unicorn, and they're leaping over all of this stuff. You could really kind of, if you had expectations or others had expectations, far exceed those. That's what I'm seeing with this. Now, the Six of Wands in reverse is kind of like cutting edge. And with, this is pretty accurate. We see the sunflowers rather. And like I said, they follow the lead. They haven't yet turned towards you. So I feel like this could be a moment where it takes people a minute. In a recent story time, I talked about two of my favorite current musical artists, especially Chappell Roan. I love her stuff. She was rejected by her label. COVID happened, like a bunch of stuff. And then she finally came back, and now this album is taking off like a year after it was released. Charlie XCX, who's been around for a while, has not had, like, she's had major hits and she's had major collaborations, but her own albums haven't kind of hit the zeitgeist, but they have now. And so it's proof that you're never really an overnight success. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success. Sometimes there's that saying out there, and there's truth to that. Keep on keeping on. You don't know when your breakout moment is going to be. It's usually about the time you've given up. So don't give up, because you too could have that breakout moment right here on the horizon. But you may be lonely in the front line for a little bit. It's like fashion. By the time it's hit the mainstream, the next thing is already happening. So just don't give up. Don't do it for others. Do it for you, and do it for the integrity of your vision. And success is something that is subjective, and it's something that's personal. Okay? And I think that's really the main takeaways here. But this is going to be a good week for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You just may not see all of the accolades this week, but you're planting seeds that will be fruitful days, weeks, years to come from now. So it's worth the work, okay? Even if you don't see all of the riches right now, they're coming. Moving on to earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Love, creativity, new ideas coming through, Knight of Cups, at a pretty rapid clip as well. Knights move quickly. When people start to connect with you on an emotional level as well, things might get serious faster. And it can be in any facet of your life, career, relationship, Even with family, things could just be getting a little bit deeper. Yes, there may be love coming in the form of a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And it's just a great week to put yourself out there, wear your heart on your sleeve, share an idea, and say yes, get out there and dance, literally or figuratively. There's a lot to love with the Knight of Cups in the upright position, okay? And things are starting to move in the right direction for you. They're starting to feel better. You're starting to feel better. And I think that's key. All right, good week for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Moving from Earth to Air, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Here's what we've got for you. You're figuring things out. Let's look at this in the upright position. So we see a little bit of a labyrinth or a maze here in front of this person, and then we see a bear and a bull. And so for many of you, you're trying to figure out where you stand. Are you conservative? Are you a little bit bearish? Or are you feeling bold and very passionate about what's possible? Are you bullish? And you can make this whatever you want it to be. It can be as easy or as difficult as you'd like. Now, a Hierophant reversed is not playing by the rule book. So I think your success is going to be in your ability to think way outside of the maze, labyrinth, or box and say, how about this? I'm going to try this. And you're going to take people by surprise and by storm, and that's what's going to help. There may be an arbitrary gatekeeper that's making things difficult or can't make the final decision. I had a challenging boss, but gave me great advice. This person would say, whenever I got a no, you're talking to the wrong person if you got the no. Go to the person that can tell you the yes, or that can make the final decision. That boss didn't like to hear no for an answer, but it would always push me to think, who else can I talk to? How else can I approach this? And that's what this Hierophant's looking at, the maze. From a bird's eye perspective, do we have a bird there? Yes, we do. So when you're able to pull yourself up a little bit and think about it again, well, how about this? Or what if we don't even need to go this path and we don't need or want a gatekeeper? Let's just do it ourselves. So entrepreneurial energy as well, okay? I'm laughing at people saying, Aquarius not playing by the book. Well, here's the cool thing. Like we saw the ability again, I think it was like on Monday, to really lead the charge. And I think any sign is capable of it. But sometimes any of the air signs can get in their headspace too much and worry. It's usually Libra and Gemini because we can see things from perspectives, all perspectives. Aquarius is a little bit bolder, but all the air signs can think too much. So don't overthink it this week. Trust your instincts and be willing to kind of move outside of the expected range. Okay? Moving now from air signs to the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Busy week. Inspiring week. Some of you might just feel like it's coming from all angles. So I like that we have the heart, but look at all of this energy here. You want to try to make sure that you're not losing yourself in the shuffle. You're not feeling the stress of everyone else. Like when things are really flowing in a good way, you're like a good part of a team or family that just they're there for each other. The time passes quickly. But if you're in a place where it's agitating and everyone's working and hustling and it's a little bit like, oh my gosh, when are we going to take a break? That can be too much. Take some breaks. Know that there's enough people, energy, and opportunities around you that you can afford a day, a minute, etc. It's going to be all right. So take a deep breath. But I see it being a very progress-oriented week. I like Eight of Wands. What we see is things being predictable, things being consistent, moving forward. There's a lot of people, a lot of options, a lot of everything. So make sure that you're not losing focus. That's the only thing that I would say. But with business, Eight of Wands is perfect. Projects, same thing. And in general, I just think this week's going to speed by for my water sign. So do some fun things, take some time, take a breath, get your perspective. And I do love that we have all these stars coming out from the heart. As long as you're connecting with things and you're passionate, that's going to pay off several times over. Pretty good across the board, actually, as we were looking at all of the elements. So yay for that. All right, speaking of fast, we're already at the special topic, which is good. The special topic today is the spark, a focus on everything new and everything incoming. You guys were like, I don't want to heal the past. I don't want to look at what's going on around me. I want to see what's coming in. So I will still see it. That's just how the Celtic Cross works. But we'll do a special focus on how not to be tethered too much by the past and how to really focus on the doors that are opening up. Please take a deep breath. Let go of everything that we've already talked about. Let go of any thoughts that might be in your mind. Let's just call in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters to help us make good decisions in the week ahead and see what we need to see. Okay? Seriously. All right, well, we have the next few cards that just declared themselves, so I'll move with it. No mistakes when I read. That never happens. We got the Eight of Wands, so synchronistic, right? Let's just take down the glare a little bit on this. Okay. All right, let me just get these aligned a little bit more. And let's get started here with catalyst energy first and foremost. We have the moth coming through here. And it's interesting because we see a little bit of what looks like a skull or skeleton there. So transformation energy, which is already intrinsic to a moth anyway. Card is reversed. There could be a little bit of resistance to change. Moths go through the cocoon or pupa phase instead of the, it just left me, but the chrysalis. So it's a little bit more malleable, it's a softer sort of shell. So for many of you, I feel like it's going to be easier to break out of something. It's just a matter of saying, let's do this. The judgment energy that we picked up on the 7-day forecast really aligns with this. I'm ready to move in this direction. Like, again, it's okay to do something slightly different. And spread your wings this week. Don't be surprised, because this is a nocturnal totem, if you are more energized either in the late or early morning, like late evening or early morning hours. You might have a hard time going to sleep. You might get a bunch of ideas in the middle of the night. You may just feel like in the morning, I need to get up, I need to do this. Go with that energy. When the muse strikes, really embrace it, see where it might take you. But overall, the moth is a very, very good symbol, and it shows that you're treading in the right direction. At the center of this spread, we have a focus on what do you want? It's almost a question from the universe. Ace of Cups is a joyful card. It can represent what you're wanting to come through, like a wish coming through and being fulfilled. It can be new love. But when it's reversed, it's saying the only thing that's holding you back in this moment in time could be your own sort of heavier emotions that you're dealing with, maybe some sadness, maybe some frustration. So we really want to find a way to even that out, find a channel, find a way to put it into something productive. It's a chance to also speak your mind and speak your heart. And I've been talking about the importance of not keeping these expectations, wishes, or desires secret. It's so much more powerful when you say what you want and you help bring it out there into the world, rather than just expecting people to read tea leaves, tarot cards, or intuit it. Like, put it out there. Say, this is what I like. This is what makes me happy. There's a time and a place, but like, we should be doing that more than just expecting or hoping or wishing. And that's everything. You don't have to accept something if it doesn't feel right. Discernment is also why the Ace of Cups can be reversed. You can say no. Nine of Swords. Okay, so all of these things are things to release so that you can embrace what's coming through here. I still have to at least address it because we're doing a spread. So the thing that could hold you back from seeing what's possible is stress. What if this happens? What if they say that? What if I don't do well? What if my first day is terrible? What if it isn't? What if it is and you still get through it and the next day is better? What if we're putting too much weight in the moment? So I think the important thing here is just to breathe and do it a step at a time, a day at a time. Sometimes things are better than you expect. And sometimes expecting that they could be okay can manifest them. So embrace those possibilities as well as looking at all the potential other outcomes. Focus on sleep quality and quantity. You need both. So figure out how, what the right amount of sleep is for you, and then are you getting it? And then stress management overall. So rest, stress management, and just really understanding the power of thoughts and not putting too many negative thoughts out there, because after a while it's kind of like the creation of a galaxy. When enough things get together, it starts to, create a mass, and we don't want it to become massive and something that's, orbiting you like a satellite. Let's let go of those thoughts, okay? I mentioned earlier, and you saw this for some of the signs that are going through the Eight of Wands energy. This time it's reversed, so it could just be this feeling of being in a whirlwind, right? There's the movie Twisters that's out right now. It's kind of like being caught up in, it can be someone else's whirlwind, it can be your own. It's like a storm of energy around you. So stay cool, stay calm, be the eye of the storm, don't be the storm. Don't be caught up in the storm. And you'll be all right as long as you stay in that and you can observe what's going on around you and choose when and where to kind of like activate and put your energy. Focus is the key thing that will help you. We see all of these coming together in a central point. So if the focus is lacking, be the one that creates that sense of leadership or focus, or at least stay focused in your own sort of silo. Heightened emotions could also be a potential block before we get into what's coming in new. So don't make a decision if you're overly happy or overly sad or overly anything, tired, stressed, whatever. This is taking whatever this is and amping it up to the next level. So we don't want that. Take a moment and get more in the neutral mind and body and energy set, and that's going to help you make just smarter decisions. It's like going shopping when you're hungry versus shopping on a full stomach. When you're hungry, you're going to get all this stuff you don't need just because you're like, I need food and I need more and I need this now. So we're not making the educated decisions. So find a place where you're neutral and then decide. Don't neglect celebration, joy, and happiness. That is a part of this card. And don't give up on your dreams, because this is a wish fulfillment card. But specifically, avoid decision making when you are either super high or super low emotionally. It will save you time and energy in the long run. You'll be happy that you did that. Okay? Now we can start to move into the special topic itself, which is everything new. So this is the first step to manifesting good stuff in the week ahead. We have the King of Cups. He is the master of his emotions. He had to overcome the two central cards. This feeling of, oh God, I got all this stuff going on in my mind, and some of that just might be stress. And some of it might just be intensity of emotions. So what is he doing? He's meditating. We can actually take the image and use it as a model for how to be successful. So take time to meditate, take time to slow down from all the activity and energy that we saw here, and don't lose track of yourself. Most important thing. Do things in your life that create joy in your life, that create joy in your body. So this could be dance, it could be art, it could be love, anything where it's not necessarily connected to an outcome or approval or anything. It just makes you feel good. So I really want to make sure that you're doing things that create that spark, connecting it to the special topic title of joy, of passion. So here you go. Okay. We have a little sea star on that, or starfish. And what I like about this is the ability to regrow, to bounce back, because depending on where a starfish is cut, if like part of it is removed, it can grow it back as long as enough of the center is there. So I feel like you can rebound, you can come back, you can bounce back. Just take your time, keep your cool. If you can see it, you can do it. So I would say in this, we always say seeing is believing, but believing is seeing. Really, if you believe it here, you'll be able to see it with your two eyes here. So you got to use your third eye to envision it, but if you look really close, her eyes are actually seeing through this as well. It's kind of a cool illustration. So just see all the possibilities, see it, believe it, embody it, do it. There you go. That's your mantra with this High Priestess. Highly creative energy, especially when coupled with the King of Cups. Your passion is contagious in a really positive way. So be passionate, be joyful, be positive. These are good traits. These are good attributes that will attract similar opportunities, people, etc. And just trust what's coming through. It's divine. It's accurate. And sometimes we sit and we try to talk ourselves in or out of something when we know what we should be doing. And that's the big takeaway. You already know it. So don't let this stuff get in the way. Let me take another drink and then we'll move on to what's going on with you right now. Okay, so one thing that's coming through, and it could be another potential block in embracing all the new, it's trying to rush, needing to get to the finish line. Also feeling a sense of, oh no, ... it's not happening, or I'm stuck. Get rid of that. Erase that thought. Because it's the Eight of Swords. You're starting to put the swords around you and create the prison of thought. Instead, think to yourself, what if I'm exactly where I need to be? What if, this is what I'm even thinking about my current situation, so I'll use a real life situation. What if I need to have some temporary places to be so that I can find the right place? What if I do that instead of just take the first thing that's available? Because I want to make sure I land in a solid place. So sometimes we have to have a delay, a stasis, a plateau, so that a synchronicity can be aligned. It could be meeting the love of your life, getting the job that you want, getting a home that you want. Sometimes you just have to put up with being in a place that isn't moving. We're not going to use the word stuck. You need to stand still for a moment to get your bearings, okay? And that's what the Hanged Man is really about. Just about the time that you give up, the opportunity comes knocking. This represents Odin, who was hanging from the tree of life by his foot or ankle, and he placed himself there. And I don't know if it was like 7 or 8 days. It was a while, but he basically had to. He went without food. There was, the blood that dripped from his foot. That was also like an offering. All of it was a little bit of time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears. But eventually, it was worth it, and he got knowledge and experience from that. Got the secret of the runes. That's why you see the runes at the bottom. So this struggle that you're going through isn't without a happy ending. You just have to be willing and ready to be patient and think about things and look at them from a different angle. That's also what the Hanged Man teaches us. Okay? Someone wants to help you. There's a helping hand, and this is what's here now. This is the now. This is why you tuned in. Lovers in reverse. You may have to let people know, though, what's going on. So this could be as easy as like a social media post. It could be communicating with friends, and then that friend gets that through the network, and someone says, oh, I heard you're looking for a new job. I heard that you need some assistance with this. I have an idea. So communicate what it is that you need, put it out into your network, and lo and behold, an unexpected ally, someone maybe that you haven't heard from for a while, could be coming through. The lovers does not have to be sexual or passionate. It can be compassionate. It can be loving. And so there could just be a friend or a family member that reaches out and says, you're not alone. Let me help you out. So it's just a question of if you're ready to receive that love and support. And also remembering that love attracts love. So one of the ways that we can pull more of that into our lives is by leading with kindness. And I mentioned you might see someone that's going through a bad day or a first day or whatever. Just show them some compassion. Wherever you have a chance to be kind and loving to others, put it out, blast it out from that heart center, and it's going to then start to pull it back into your life as well. So it's not always easy to be kind when you're having a hard time, but the love, the frequency of love, it does something magical in your body. So when you start to be kinder and more loving and more positive, all of a sudden the emotions change, the chemicals change, things start to move around you and it improves. So if you can do that if you can be there for someone else, you're actually doing it for yourself as well. That's the magic. That's where, if we're looking at High Priestess, using love is more powerful than using hate. Hatred diminishes, depletes, and defeats. Love inspires, emboldens, and also reveals new opportunities. Love is always stronger, folks. Hope is always stronger. It always, typically in the long run, can do more. Even if sometimes hatred wins, love usually is the stronger choice. So if you can love yourself, if you can love others, you're going to attract that. It's going to create a reputation of love and accountability and sustainability and all these good things. That'll attract better stuff for you. Okay? So that's my little rant on this because of these two energies here. And you may not see it immediately, but it's like fertilizer on a plant. It'll eventually create growth. The universe is guiding you. You're not lost. I don't know why or who needs to hear it, but you're not lost. This is the biggest angelic card. It sometimes gets overlooked because it seems, we're looking at all the other things, but there are a few angel cards that I'll think of here, but like Temperance is the biggest. It's the only one where it's the main figure and there's no human, even though we see like an earth angel here. But it's also in the Lovers. It's in Judgment. Those are the main ones. Death is an angel. And that's pretty much it. We could count the Devil as one, but like this is one of the best, and it's basically spirit quietly coming through, calm, quiet, and you have to tune into Temperance. It's not going to blast in your ears like a car driving by or something. You have to do what we see here. This is how you connect with this angel. Close your eyes, relax a little bit. We'll do it in our meditation, but we'll call in the Temperance angel later. And Temperance is very connected to this. Just be present. The Hanged Man is present. The Temperance angel is present. It's slow. It's deliberate. And this slowness, stillness, and deliberate sort of approach is going to help you. And ultimately, what's happening now is movement. It could be like immediate. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Six of Swords in reverse, just like the world in reverse, can be fast and furious. But it can also be really positive. The question in this one is, are you coming or going? And you can see the 6 crows or ravens in the background and the 6 in the foreground. And she is not sure. She's got her bags and she's trying to think, am I living in the past or am I moving towards the future? This will solely decide how quickly you can manifest stuff, because the High Priestess is upright. She's starting to create. She's starting to call in. We've got lovers in the environment, a friend, a family, a loved one that wants to help. But everybody's waiting to hear, like, what do you want? Are you coming or going? And this is all you need to decide this week. Are you done with that? Do you want this? Where do you want to move the needle? Only you can decide. I am basically your tour guide through all of the energy each and every week. You're the decision maker. And any good reader will remind you of that. I won't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what's possible. Let's expand the forecast. We're going to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to start off with the energy of health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. And in the energy of health, oh my goodness, I didn't even see it until now. We have Kali. Kali is a really intense deity to come through. So misunderstood, but super powerful. So Kali can come through and destroy things and tear down things that no longer serve a purpose in your life. But sometimes we're afraid of the release. So Kali and the 6 of Swords are working in tandem. She wants to come through and help you get rid of stuff, but you might be afraid of letting go. You might be afraid of what might happen. It's okay. It's okay to let go. And just looking at the energy of fear in general. It can be fear of success, because we had the 6 of Wands coming through for some of you this week. It could be a fear of not having enough, sort of that poverty mindset, which we don't need or want to do. It could also just be fear of the unknown. You want everything mapped out. The universe is very much unpredictable because of all of our free will. I was looking at a video that was talking about how particles, like quantum particles, can react to whether or not they're being watched, which blows my mind a little bit, but not really, because it's manifestation. So like, if you expect them to act a certain way, they pick up on it. And that's where we're just starting to understand sort of like how powerful thoughts can be. So if we can affect quantum particles, just imagine, what we can do with a different emotion that we're broadcasting. So instead of fear, replace it with curiosity. That's how I usually kind of deal with fear or anxiety. So you take what if I fail to what if I succeed, or what if it's better than I thought? And that starts to mute that and starts to affect the particles out there, and you start to call in a different outcome. So we do need to look at fear and find a way to diminish it or turn it inside out into hope or possibility. And you don't need to do that alone. You could lean on a friend. You could tune into a video like this. You could talk to a professional, because sometimes we need help. We need someone to hold our hand. It's normal. You don't have to walk through this life alone, right? Okay. Let's look at some stuff going on with your health. I mentioned earlier, but I'll highlight it again: quality and quantity of sleep, stress management. Emotions start off a little bit intense, but it does look like you find your calm and cool, collected place here with the King of Cups and the Temperance card. Meditation is so important. If you're not doing it, start, please. This can show some sensitivity in the Achilles tendon, in the metatarsal sort of bones of the foot. The structures of the foot is coming through in this particular Hanged Man. So if you've never gone to a podiatrist or an orthopedic specialist for the foot, it might be time to do that. If you're experiencing any past injuries that are coming through, if you just had an injury, or if something doesn't feel right, change your shoes, stretch. Don't abuse this part of your body. We don't think about the health of our feet. This is especially true for people, both men and women, who are wearing fashionable shoes that weren't made for the human body. It might be time. I've reached a point where I'm like, I'm going to wear these comfortable shoes to everything. I'm not going, unless there's a very, very special event, even then it's got to be comfortable shoes. I can't do, because a few years back I had broken one of mine. I'm like, we're not abusing the feet anymore. Fashion's going to go to the sideline. It has to be form over fashion. It has to be function over fashion, because otherwise, you only get one body. Don't abuse it. Let's see if there's anything else. Take your time while you're moving. The Hanged Man and the Six of Swords, just saying, slow down. You can go back for that second suitcase. Don't pack an extra suitcase if you don't need to. When you're commuting, keep your eyes on the road. Use Siri, Alexa, or whatever device you have to Siri just woke up, to help you out, to change the channel or answer the phone, but don't touch things. Just focus on driving and looking forward. There's just a lot going on, so I think it is important to have some fun this week as well. Meditation, playtime definitely need to be in the mix. Okay? I think that's all. Let's move on. Let's go from health to wealth. Resources, life, purpose, and career. We have the White Witch coming through here. Be the light. And honestly, there was a nice line in The Craft, which is a fun, silly, iconic movie from the late 90s. But the woman whose name I can't remember right now, who owns the shop that the witches go to, she said there's really no white magic or black magic. She said it's just magic, and the energy comes from the intention of the practitioner. And that's true of everything, I think, in life. The light or the dark comes from within. So we're just focusing on the light. And I talked a little bit about how important it is to transmute thoughts. And so we have a little bit of that here. So just really work from a place of integrity, of compassion, of lightness of being. And then you're being the light is like the hermit energy, right? You're leading the way. And I thought Athena when I saw this before I even read the title, because of the owl. So just act with wisdom and compassion, and you're going to be fine. And this is what we're looking at again in wealth. So being the example of wisdom and light, that's what we've got there. All right, let's break it down. 3 categories. Those who have a job, those who are seeking employment, students and retirees. And we're going to focus here first, because you wanted me to look at new. So we'll look at new. If you have a job, here's what I see, because we're kind of ignoring this. The sky is the limit with the High Priestess. I think that this could also represent you dragging your feet a little bit. So if you know what you want to do, I think it's just one request away. You're going to get more done in the moment with partnerships. So more together than alone. And I know easier said than done sometimes, but it's going to be important to reach out to others to get some support, to get some insight, to vet your research, to get like another person to listen to what you have to say. So this is where the power comes, is in partnerships and existing, those that are currently employed. And then really trusting what's coming through. So we have 2 cards of channeling here. So don't let, actually, these are all channeling. So trust your passion, trust your insights, take your time. Don't let someone pull you left or right of that center track. You know exactly where you need to go. And it may be necessary to get a face-to-face meeting in order to take something to the next level, whether that is getting someone to buy into your idea, getting them to listen to you. I mentioned earlier about maybe going to the right person. So if there was an arbitrary gatekeeper, there might be someone who knows that gatekeeper or knows someone else, and you could be working with an assistant or a friend or a colleague to break through, and then the floodgates open and things start to happen. Briefly touching on the stuff that could hold you back if you're in a current job. This could be stress in your life or stress elsewhere, or just at the job. But if you can kind of rise above the stress and be graceful under all of this, that's going to help you rise up as a leader. I think that making decisions without seeing it from all perspectives could also be slightly sort of like dangerous. You really want to, and just vetting all those opinions, like I said, making sure you do that is going to be key. But it's actually a pretty good time for those of you that are employed. So I think the stress and emotional management are the only things that are kind of holding you back. And then timelines. They're either going to be slower or faster than expected. So you're going to have to be patient and flexible. Flexibility, that's the core area of opportunity, okay? Shifting the focus to job seekers, I want you to look at how you're presenting yourself. The moth is encouraging you to do it differently. So this could be a decision for those of you that, whether you're creative or not, if you have like a website that is a portfolio of your work, to change it. Like maybe every 4 years, it's a pain in the butt, especially because I have so much on it, but I do a redesign every now and then. I think we're on like the 3rd for me. So I get tired of seeing it, and I want it to load faster, and technology changes. So every few years I'm like, it's time. And it keeps it fresh. And same thing for all of you, like whether it's a resume, a website, the way you're dressing, there could be a way to kind of like change up the packaging so people can see you. Maybe it's taking away some of the stuff so that the focus is more on the meat of it, but that's kind of what I'm getting with that. New packaging, new presentation. Really letting go of these 2 things, the fear, the anxiety, as I took a deep breath, because it feels heavy when I look at that. The way to get something is through the connection here. So either your alumni connections, your friends, your family, maybe even your partner, and making sure that if there is a way to get a visual, FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, you name it, whatever the virtual meeting place is, that is going to help, because there's so much now digital that I don't even know how you break through unless you can find that connection. So trying to somehow, it could also be like even replying on social media or messaging someone, like their LinkedIn profile, somehow getting it so that they can see you, you can see them. That is going to break down the walls a little bit. I see a move for many of you that are job seeking, just looking outside of your geography so that you can find a place that suits your interests a little bit more. You can make this happen though. High Priestess is great. Some of my best jobs happened when I just thought, what the heck, why not? I talked about one where I applied like on New Year's Eve, and like within a week I had a new job in a different city, in a different state, and it was exactly what I wanted to be doing, and it was a really good one. And I made up like to myself, I was like, enough. Something has to come through, and I really want this. I've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Let's do it. And it was the perfect timing, and they didn't have a position yet for this, but they're like, oh, we're thinking of creating one. Do you want to just come and talk? And I did, and they did, and then they hired me. So Sometimes you can create a position. You could suggest that. And this is a unique entrepreneurial thing. You guys are always asking me to look at entrepreneurs. So you could be identifying a lack of something and saying, I've seen you do this, but if you did this, this, and this, it could be better. Have you thought of this role in your company? So you could pitch yourself for a position and create one that doesn't exist. Or even see one and say, I really think this needs to be added to the job for it to work. And then maybe this is a way to get a little bit more money. Because we're not seeing money cards, but I see a lot of possibility cards. So you might have to talk about that or bring it up. And that's everything there. I do see a couple of helpers in your life. Accept the help if you're open to it. If you are a student, I always seem to pick up on a stress card when I'm looking at students. I get it. There's a lot going on. But wow, speaking of what I was just talking about, you have the capacity to mold a program or find a degree that feels custom made. When I was looking for my graduate degree, it was just around the time that the internet was taking off. So I entered grad school around 98. So there were maybe 5 schools that did new media and also did like film and a combination of the two. And I found one of them that was perfect. And I loved it. I was like, oh, this is it. And you could create your program there. They were very small student to teacher ratios. So seek out opportunities, whether it's an internship or an educational program, where maybe smaller is better. I went big for undergrad and very small for graduate because I wanted an intimate, hands-on approach where I was seen, not just a number. First, I wanted to exist in the larger thing. I'm like, I've done that. Now I just want to be seen and really have someone who cares about my path. And I think that's a typical thing when you go to grad or beyond. You want smaller so that there's more one-on-one. So that's my advice for students. Smaller is better. Look for places where you can really be seen and you can mold the program a bit, because this is a very hands-on card. So that's the key thing. Or if you're just looking at next semester, a class where you really have a chance to flex your creativity and control. Okay, retirees, congrats on being retired. There may be some just general stress going on in your life. Again, I see an absence of money, so money isn't the presenting anything this week, but what is relationships. And for some of you, you may be missing someone that you love. You might be thinking of putting yourself out there again if you had a partner and lost them. You may also just be trying to grow your friendship group a bit. And it does look like one of the things is just getting out the door. Maybe travel could be a way to initiate some of this, or simply moving into different sort of like circles, different groups, changing it up a bit. But the key focus is actually spirituality, because we have a lot of meditation cards, and relationships, and a little bit of exercise, getting moving. But generally speaking, pretty good. Okay, let's move on to love and relationships. Okay. 2 cards came through here. Let's pull these up here. So we have the Emerald Tablet Activation as the first of the 2, Cosmic Ordering, Divine Alchemy, Conscious Manifesting. So in relationships, this is kind of interesting. First of all, the heart, we want to see like the color green. That's the color of the heart chakra. Divine Alchemy. This feels to me like there is a relationship where we're looking at love in the broader context. As I kind of put here on this card, it can be all of that. Some of you are meeting a mentor or a teacher that just pulls it all together and helps you manifest, because this ties to that High Priestess. And the Divine Alchemy could be like the Temperance card that's helping you figure it all out and put it into order. So I like that. Some of you are meeting a mentor that opens doors. Then we have Merkaba Activation. And this is about rising up here, transcendence, ascension, and literally you are rising up. So that is the judgment energy that came through for some of us this week when I was looking at messages in the 7-day forecast. And I forget which day that was for, but basically decision time is coming through for many of you. Now the cards are reversed, so there could be a little bit of disbelief when you meet up with that person, or when that realization that this is what I want comes through. Don't second guess yourself. Let me take a drink, and then we're going to break this down into 3 categories: those in a relationship, looking for love, or happily single. Okay, if you're in a relationship, let's see what's going on here. Well, I quite like that we have the Lovers here in the environment. It's almost like I'm looking in at the two of you. This is nice. But the Lovers in reverse, what I would say is focus a little bit less on approval or opinion. Who cares what people think? Whether they like you, whether they don't, whether they are judging, whatever, there might be something unexpected about the partnership, age, background, whatever, religion. If you're happy, good. Love is love. You don't need permission from anyone else. So don't let them get in your mind too much. I like that we have two cards of passion and compassion here. It feels like one partner needs a little bit more right now, a little bit more support, a little bit more energy. And so, and it does seem to be coming from a place of either fear or anxiety. So do the best that you can to support one another. Know that there are certain things that you don't have to or need to fix with respect to the partner. So if you need to reach out to someone else for help, do that. All you have to do is be the best possible support. You don't have to fix everything in your partner. Let's see. I do think that there could be a little bit of a energetic rut that some of you have gotten into. Same thing, same sort of general schedule. So this week, shake it up. Tune into what your partner wants or has said that they wanted and maybe surprise them. On a diagonal, when we look at you tuning in, you doing this is going to be well received. Surprised, but well received. There could be a little bit of just missing someone here. The partner could be traveling or there could be a distance component. So bridging that distance or that gap is going to be very important. Okay. It's pretty good this week, actually, for partnership across the board. Just emotions for the most part, and maybe cyclical stuff that you need to break it up a little bit, the routine, and then a little bit of travel. These seem very manageable to me. If you are looking for love, I think self-care has to be the first thing that you focus on. Your own emotions, your own stress. Once that's out of the picture, you're calling in a lot of different types of people right now, or a lot of different options here. One of them is someone who's ready to get into a relationship, or you may have been off and on with someone and it could get really serious now. We have a water sign that wants to come through as well. This is a higher love whenever I see Temperance. They are patient, they are kind, they're not going to necessarily take the first step. They're waiting to make sure that you're okay. There could be a combination of these coming through, but that's what I see in the near future is someone who's got their eye on you, but they're not sure. Like, seems like they're going through, like they're looking at you thinking you're going through a lot, or you've got a lot going on, or are you ready to get into something serious because it feels like they might be. So get yourself on solid ground, meditate a bit. Could be pulling in a Pisces. He's got the little fish around his necklace there. But whatever you're calling in, it's worth it. I like it. This person is probably not someone that you have met before or had a lot of interactions with. They may come from a different part of the world. They may be traveling, or you could be, there could just be this happy synchronicity. We don't use serendipitous sort of meetings, but you're going to meet when you're meant to meet. So definitely I see love in the mix this week. Pay attention to signs and signals. The High Priestess will help you pick up on this when you meet them or shortly before. If you're single and you're happily single, here's what I see for you. All the self-care stuff that I just talked about, of course, but nonetheless, you may be happily single, but you're definitely not alone. This is a chance for you to make new friends, make new business alliances, and maybe be surprised even in love. You might not be looking for it, but it may be finding you. So there's a nice partnership energy that wants to come forth. You're so creative. You're so capable of molding things right now. I really want you to just put your all into creative endeavors. It's well worth the time, the energy, and the investment. That's a nice segue, actually, into destiny. This is where the focus should be no matter what, but especially those that are unattached. We have the creative energy coming forth, whatever you want to breathe life into. Echoing what I said late last night when I did the reading for this morning, I was like, just put, because I think it was it Ace of Pentacles? It was the Ace of Pentacles in this deck where the roots were there. If you're willing to invest, things can take shape, take form, take root. And as I was saying with Six of Wands in reverse, you're ahead of things a little bit. It's like planting a bulb. You do it in the season or two before. So if I want daffodils to grow in the spring, I'm going to plant them in the fall so that they can get situated. The roots can grow. They can be watered over the winter, and then they sprout out in the spring, right? So that's a few months ahead. You could be planting that kind of a bulb or that kind of a seed, and it could take 3 to 6 months to be fruitful, but it's going to be fruitful. So put it out there. Just don't expect an immediate return. That's a big takeaway from today. It can happen now, like you can start it now, but the final sort of like getting your flowers, literally, okay, I like that. You'll get your flowers, but not immediately, okay? Let's really focus this on, let's see, new and incoming. I mean, they're kind of the same. So I'm going to pull a big idea card to help us tune into what's new and what's incoming. And then we'll see what else we need to do here. So what's new, what's incoming, aligning to that special topic for today. 7 of Wands. Okay. Interesting. I love, if I had to kind of title this one, she is unbothered. And she is not taking an overly defensive stance, or if she stands up for herself, she's doing so unapologetically. She's like, no, I said no, and this is why. That's it. She doesn't have to get all flustered or anything. We already discussed this. We already agreed to this. Next. What's the next question? She is not being dismissive, but she is being very, very sort of like in the flow. This is what she wants. And also when they're, it's like if there are always going to be haters out there, just let them hate, let them do their own thing. We're going to use the energy of love. She's tuning into the heart and the solar plexus chakras, and she's broadcasting that energy instead. She's like, hate all you want. It really doesn't bother me. Are you okay? Is everything okay? You seem to be really bothered. She is mastering communication in a way that is kind of like, it's like pulling the rug out for other people. So by being calm and not immediately initiating the mouth, you can be very tactical in your communication as well. So it's a defensive card, but it's one that is not defensive, if you know what I mean. She's just pushing back on nonsense, and I like it. So that's key. Do less, but do it better. Always a part of the 7 of Wands. And what is she doing? She's meditating. It looks like she's in the orb of the traditional like high priestess, like she holds the crystal ball. So she's going back into thinking also like, will this matter? Like Cher has a great saying, if it doesn't matter in 5 years, who cares? Like, so is this really going to matter in the long run, like 3 years from now, 5 years from now? If not, who cares what that person says or thinks? You know? So that is a big takeaway here as well, is not to tune in too much to others, to the projection of those other people. Love yourself, attract other people that love you, let go of the haters. We don't have energy, time, etc. for hater fear right now, okay? That was one of the things when I was writing my sci-fi. I thought it would be fun, like my book a few years back, to personify some of these emotions because they seem overwhelming, but you can just you can transmute them when you don't give them too much power. Fear, by not being afraid, like just by simply saying, is that all you have to offer? Is this really this is okay. I can face this fear. It's not going to be a big deal. I'm going to starve this energy and put it into something else. Let's close our eyes and deal with the Temperance Angel. We're going to meditate for a moment. Before we meditate, remember to subscribe if you're brand new, to like, and when this is on repeat, if you could also leave a comment, that helps. Okay. Close your eyes, please. We're not going there just yet. We're going to meditate. And I'd like you to just, first and foremost, let go of whatever thoughts or energy might be in your body. A big sigh, push it out. If you have a question, hold it, because we're going to pull a card in a minute. But just put it to the side of your mind. We really need the center stage to be open. And I'd like you to imagine a bright and sunny day. Imagine that you are sitting out at the beach or any sort of spot that you like. Maybe it's your patio if you're not close to the water, or if you like to be in the forest or whatever. I don't care, but we do need sunlight. So wherever you're at, just imagine that the sun is shining brightly upon you. It's a little bit past center, so I think this is like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, so that we can have it shining on your face, your heart, your solar plexus. Those are where we're kind of putting the energy. First, opening up that third eye. Your physical eyes are closed, but the third eye is open, and you're receiving the sunlight, this big blast of, the word that I get is intensity and integrity, like all this clarity coming through, and it's clearing your mind of any sort of cobwebs. take a deep breath, and on the exhale, push out any of those cobwebs like back into the atmosphere. You don't need that. You're just going to replace it with this bright, luminous energy in your mind, and allow that now to also go into your body as well. Focusing now on receiving it into your throat chakra so you can speak from a place of lightness, of integrity, of brilliance, showing your brilliance, literally and figuratively. Allowing that energy to melt in through the heart chakra into the solar plexus, now fully connecting to the energy of the sun. This is where you can feel like you are powerful, you are capable, you are ready to create, to receive, to inspire. And imagine now if you could see yourself from a distance, there would be nothing but this brilliant silhouette of light looking at the sun itself, and then you would see this beautiful sort of nimbus of light behind your head that is the solar disk. So you are kind of like an icon that you would see in a church, and then your body is radiating out this light. And I want you to see yourself in this powerful, calm, meditative state. Even in a storm or a challenging situation this week, pull yourself back into this meditation, be in the light. And now if there's something that you need to manifest this week, see that third eye turning towards it, and it's like a lighthouse. Shine the light on that and allow that to receive some of that energy, and you won't lose your way this week. You're going to be able to find your way to that opportunity. Slowly, gently coming back into your body, take a couple of breaths. On the next natural exhalation, I'd like you to open your eyes. Turn your attention to one final question that you have for me, and let's see what Spirit has to say. Well, you've got it, folks. We have the Magician coming through right on the heels of that High Priestess card. So it's a yes. It's a yes, but you have to stay focused and you have to believe. And also with the Magician, more isn't always more. Sometimes less is more. So just really focus the time and energy on what matters most. We can see all the elements here represented with these different runes. It's really just the triangles. They look like runes, but you can see the triangles with the lines through them. So focusing on putting your energy behind what matters most, not putting everything in the mix. This isn't the kitchen sink week. You really need to focus on the core ingredients to what you need and want to do, and that's it. You've got this, okay? But thoughts manifest, so we really want to focus on the positivity of our thoughts this week, now more than ever. Now we're going to take a couple minutes here to just say thanks. But before I do that, I want to actually say thanks to anybody that's given back in the form of super stickers, super chat, and memberships. Anyone who has taken time to subscribe. By the way, you can also follow me on social media. It's always my full name across all major platforms. I don't offer private readings, and I don't message you asking for anything or offering anything. So if you see that, block and report. Okay, that being said, let's take a couple moments now to give thanks. So thanks to everybody that showed up today. Wouldn't be here without your love and your support, and it's always a thrill to be able to channel information in real time for you. I'm going to start off with members first, and then those who gifted memberships, and then super stickers. I'm just going to say thanks in rapid fire here. We have quite a few that came through today, so thanks to all the people that joined and got gifted memberships and gifted as well. All right, here we go. First names to the best of my ability. I'm going to say this. Cassie, Zanoni, Leah, TT, Deanne, Friar Chick, Costa del Sol, and Stephanie. Thank you guys. Good to see you and welcome back. Let me see. I think I might have missed a couple here at the bottom. Tamara, Bonnie, Jenny, Monica, let's see, Mystery, cute name, Princess Sinadra, I think it is, Tina, and I think I got everybody there. All right, let's take a moment and thank those who gave some of these memberships. So let me go to fan funding here. All right, and if I missed anyone, I'll try to bring them out as well. So, Misha, you gifted 5 today. Thank you for growing the community, and welcome everybody that was gifted by Misha. Same thing with Colette, you gifted 5. Welcome to all of those new people, and thanks, Colette, for making this a really great community. Norma, you gifted 1, so thank you for your kindness here. I appreciate that. Let's see. Is it Aslaninas? I'm not sure if I said that correctly. Thank you for gifting a membership. And apologies for any pronunciation there. I appreciate your support as well. Let me see if I missed any members here. I think I got all of them. I hope I did. If I did, it's not intentional. I'm just doing my best to juggle a bunch of things at once. Okay, so let me take a look now at those who gave back with super stickers. All right, super stickers. We got quite a few today as well, so thank you in advance. Okay, I'm going to say thanks to everybody first. Lori, Sathya, Jeannie, Rosemary, Miss Tracy, Leslie, Norma, Phoebe, Rosie, Pure Seed, and Monica. And special thanks there to Leslie for giving a little bit extra. Thanks to everybody. Phoebe, I've seen you before also giving memberships, so thank you for continuing to do both. I appreciate all of you. Let's see if I missed anything here on the feed. Monica, I think you just joined, or I'm sorry, you just gave him a super sticker, so thank you for that. And let's see if there's anything else. I'm trying my best here. Rosemary, by the way, congrats on your 3rd super on a live stream as well. Little milestone there. Okay, I think I got it all. That's it. Thanks everybody for joining. Also, thank you this week for being patient. The schedule, we're probably going to bubble into the actual month of August a bit. So I'm going to do what I did before for all of the signs at the end. We'll then switch it around whenever I have months where I have to go over. So then that means Aries, Gemini, all of that. You're going to Aries, Taurus, Gemini. You'll be at the beginning of the next month. So you'll be at the end of this, the beginning of the next. So we'll switch it around. I do appreciate it. I just finally kind of started to get back to normal health, but I'm also going to have to move this week probably. So it's going to create some chaos in rolling all the stuff out. So it's just going to be a little bit like for the next couple of months until I find the place where I'm going to be for a while. Schedules will be not what they normally are, but that's okay. That's life. You'll still get everything. You'll get it in a good amount of time. So thank you for your patience. All right, folks. Wishing you lots of love and light. Thanks for showing up today. And be kind to yourself, be kind to others. That was a big takeaway from today. And it looks like a good week. The big thing that I want to leave you with is you can make this whatever you want it to be with the fact that we got both the High Priestess and the Magician. So really focus on positive, affirmative, clear thoughts this week, and that's going to set you in the right direction. All right. I'm going to take Apollo here for a walk. Wishing you lots of love and light. Till I see you again, take care.